Welcome to your official race briefing for the 2025 Cape Town Cycle Tour. Whether you're tackling the classic 109 kilometer route, the 42 kilometer ride, or taking on the brand new Prelude Challenge, we're thrilled to have you join us for the 47th edition of this iconic event. In this video, we will cover everything you need to know for a safe and unforgettable ride. Be sure also to check out the full event guide on our website and download the app for all the finer details. Let's get started. Before you ride, there is important information that you need to know. Your first stop at the Cape Town Cycle Tour for both the 109 kilometer and the 42 kilometer rides is the registration at DHL Stadium in Cape Town. To collect your race pack, your goodie bag, before you head through to the Life Cycle Expo. At the Expo, you'll be able to find anything you need to help you on race day, from energy gels to sunglasses and brand new kit. You'll also be able to buy accessories like CO2 cylinders in the souvenir section. You must ensure you make it to the Expo, or someone does on your behalf, as you may not participate without the items in your race pack. If you're collecting a race pack on behalf of another participant, please ensure that you have a copy of their ID and entry confirmation. No substitutions will be done at registration, and online substitutions have closed at this point. To get into registration, you will need your ID and confirmation of your entry. Limited public parking will be available in Greenpoint and V&A Waterfront and at the CTIC in Parking Area 1, with MyCity shuttle services running from the CTICC to DHL Stadium and back throughout the day during the Expo. Normal CTICC parking rates will apply. Dedicated disabled parking bays have been reserved at P13, accessible from Main and Somerset Road. In your race pack, you will receive a race number, a blank number board, a sticker sheet. This has your number board sticker, which gets a cable tied to the front of your handlebars, your emergency sticker, which goes on your race number, and your action photo sticker, which goes on the front of your helmet. This year, you will not receive a timing board in your race pack. This would have been purchased during your entry process if you do not have one. You may use your permanent finish timing board that you received at the 2024 Cape Town Cycle Tour. Friends and family of riders can track participants in real time through the Sport Splits Tracker mobile app. Not only does this app feature live tracking and live leaderboard, there's an interactive map that allows you to see that in detail where refreshment stations and cutoffs are, as well as places of interest, parking and power zones. If you're riding this year, you need to download the app. The link will be in the caption to this video. There's also an info section with all the latest event updates that you need to make your ride as smooth as possible. Follow the following instructions on how to correctly mount your timing board. Both the 109 kilometer and the 42 kilometer Cape Town Cycle Tour start from the Grand Parade. To enter your start chute, you must have these essential items. Please do not leave home without them. We suggest you arrive a minimum of 30 minutes before your start time, but not longer to avoid congestion in the start area. Take note of the following important details. There's no smoking. No form of triathlon or time trial bars are permitted on bicycles. Please, no littering. Use the chuck zones en route or keep litter on you. No personal music systems may be used while riding. You cannot ride with someone else's timing board. You may not start or attempt to start before your designated start group. Any rider doing so will be disqualified. You may, however, start later than your designated start group to ride with a friend or family member. This you can do without being penalized. Sunscreen application stations. This year, the Cape Town Cycle Tour launched a melanoma and skin health awareness campaign dedicated to the memory of Tim Brink, a previous editor of Bicycling magazine and a respected figure in the South African cycling community. In addition to free melanoma screening that will see between 1,500 and 1,800 of most at-risk riders being screened by dermatologists at the expo, there will also be sunscreen application stations on the Grand Parade at the start to make sure that you are lathered up and also be able to reapply during your ride. The initiative is presented by Clicks with the support of Eucerin, La Roche-Posay, Bioderma, Dermalogica, Cipla, and Eston. Please take note of the important road closure information available on our website and in the event guide. Due to the 42-kilometer route closures on the M3 inbound, riders taking part in the 42-kilometer route need to be at the start at least 30 minutes before the start of the main event. Make sure you don't get caught out by these road closures. There will be traffic delays from Hospital Bend from 8 o'clock, so please ensure you leave enough time to get to the start in time for your start. At the start, there will be bike mechanics for last-minute checks, info tents, toilets, and a tog bag drop-off. Tog bag drop-off for the 109-kilometer riders. You can drop your tog bag with clean clothes and walking shoes, and it will be taken to the race village in DHL Stadium precinct to await your arrival. The first tog bag vehicle based inside the start precinct will arrive at the forecourt opposite DHL Stadium, P5, by 8 a.m. The second tog bag vehicle will also be based within the start precinct and will arrive at the forecourt near P5 opposite the DHL Stadium by 9:30. If you are starting early and will most likely finish before 9:30, you will need to make sure you indicate which drop-off time you prefer. Tog bag drop-off for the 42-kilometer riders will also be facilitated at the info tent on the Grand Parade. These will be ready for you to collect at the finish with some clean clothes, walking shoes after the ride. These tog bags will be transported to the finish area in Riebeck Street to await your arrival. They will not be transported to the Greenpoint precinct with the 109-kilometer tog bag truck, but will be at the finish in Riebeck Street, as mentioned. As far as parking is concerned, please refer to the detailed parking layout available on the app. There is limited parking available within the DHL Stadium. Tickets for this area will be on sale at a cost of 50 Rand on a first-come, first-served basis, and they will be available at registration. There will be parking available at the CTICC in P1. Riders must cycle to the start from there. There will also be parking available in the parking area outside the Civic Centre. Manned with city security, there will be signage indicating where to go. A MyCity shuttle service will be running from the DHL Stadium back to the CTICC, Thibault Square, and Civic Station to take riders back to their vehicles after the finish. This is a free service and bikes are allowed on board. Normal CTICC parking rates will apply for those that are parked at CTICC. We encourage you to cycle to and from the event or use public transport. We also encourage you to carpool or arrange that you are dropped off at the start and collected from the finish. There's plenty of legal parking within the Cape Town CBD and between the start and finish precincts, so there's no need to risk a ticket. Please don't park in any way that is dangerous or obstructs traffic flow, residents and businesses' driveways. Please don't leave anything visible in your vehicle if you have to leave anything at all. The following section deals with the 109-kilometer route. Skip ahead for 42-kilometer route information. The Cape Town Cycle Tour is a logistical marvel. To safely usher so many cyclists around a 109-kilometer route requires precision planning. To that end, cutoffs are strictly enforced with sweep vehicles ready to pick up tired bodies and bikes that are en route mechanicals or medical angels can't fix. There are 12 refreshment stations along the 109-kilometer route. All refreshment stations will stock Coke, Powerade, and water, along with medical and mechanical support. Remember to bring your reusable water bottle, as cups will not be available at refreshment stations. Visit the app for precise locations on the refreshment station's positions. Physiotherapy is available from refreshment station 4 onwards. Please ensure that you carry enough bike spares on you and be as self-sufficient as possible. There will be mechanics on motorbikes carrying limited spares en route, but obviously not available at the click of your fingers. Make sure you keep an eye open for cat eyes and potholes. The Oakley Sunglasses Cleaning Station, the team from Oakley will be out en route once again offering their much appreciated sunglass cleaning service. You'll find the Oakley team in Noordhoek before Noordhoek Farm Village and the top of Chapman's Peak at the lookout. To ensure your safety and that of other road users, several cut-off points have been established. Unfortunately, if you have not reached a specific cutoff point in time, you will have to get onto one of the sweep buses provided, which will take you and your bike back to the finish at Greenpoint. The sweep drop-off point will be at the A-track parking opposite McDonald's. Riders are required to complete the cycle tour course within 7 hours of their starting time to be awarded a result and a finishing certificate unless the race organizers determine otherwise. Riders will not be able to do the 109 kilometer twice due to the 42 kilometer ride taking place. E-bikes have been embraced by the Cape Town Cycle Tour for a number of years, and to give those who might not normally be able to achieve 109 kilometers on a conventional bicycle a chance to be part of the magic of event day. If you've entered on an e-bike, you need to make sure you've ticked the requisite box during the entry process to let us know that you'll be taking part on an e-bike. If you're unsure of this, please check at registration. You will receive a sticker in your race pack to be placed on your race number, which will identify you as an e-bike rider. E-bikes will only be seated in group 3A backwards. So if you've been seated in any group earlier than 3A and are on an e-bike, you please need to ensure that you get your number changed at the expo. We encourage all e-bike riders to embrace the spirit of participation and not see it as an opportunity to race. On that note, e-bikes may not complete the route in under 3 hours and 50 minutes. You may not go faster than 3 hours and 50 minutes. This is about being able to participate, not race. E-bike riders can hand in fully charged spare battery to the Giant team, who will have a standard registration at the DHL Stadium from the 6th to the 8th of March. All batteries may be handed in there, not just for Giant bicycles. So irrespective of the bike you're riding, you may drop your battery with the Giant team and they will have it ready for you at the station just before Nordic Farm Village. Once batteries are swapped out en route, the Giant vehicle will proceed to the finish, where participants can retrieve their used batteries near the info tent on the forecourt. Any batteries not collected on race day will be made available for collection at the Giant store in Cape Town. Emergency numbers. Take note of the important race day emergency contact numbers that will be printed on your race number as well. Medical emergencies, 087 820 2911, and then for general queries, 087 820 2453. The Under-17 Boys Racing Group will set off from Fishhook at 0600, followed shortly by the Women's Elite Group at 0605. They will be competing over a 78-kilometer route. The Elite Men's Racing Group will set off from the Grand Parade at 0615. Tell your patiently waiting family and friends to head over to the grandstand on the finish line to watch the pros, men's and women's elites and under-17s who come in between 8:10 and 8:50. There'll be a podium prize giving for the top 5 men and women and under-17 boys racing categories on the commentary deck on the finish line of the 109 route at 10 o'clock on Sunday, the 9th of March. After prize giving, they will make their way to the Powerade Pause Lounge for post-race interviews. An important piece of information regarding the prize giving for age group category winners. This will now take place on race day and not on Monday morning as in previous years. All age group category winners must report to the info tent on the forecourt after collecting their medals. Your results will be confirmed there and you'll be directed to the commentary deck next to the finish line for your prize presentation. After you've crossed the finish line, keep moving. Collect your medal, your Coke, and your Polar ice cream, and head towards the finish line and finish hospitality area, which will be buzzing with tired and happy faces. There will be a beer tent, a picnic area for clubs, live entertainment, a shaded public seating area for families. So stay and enjoy the day with us and celebrate the phenomenal achievement, the riders crossing the finish line. Comtel will be providing free Wi-Fi at the start and finish village. This is the perfect opportunity to join our Strava Club and upload your ride. Riders finishing their 10th, 21st, 30th or 40th cycle tour will receive a special commemorative medal from the info tent at the DHL Stadium forecourt after collecting their 2025 finishers medal. Got a few aches and pains after cycling 109 kilometers? Visit the Mediclinic medical area or as you exit the fencing chutes after collecting your medal. The 2025 Cape Town Cycle Tour will be live streamed from 0600 to 1100 on race day on Facebook and YouTube Live. Find the link on our website the day before or keep an eye on your socials. You'll also be able to follow the leading men and women in the live leaderboard via the tracking app. All this important information and more is located in our electronic event guide. Make sure you familiarize yourself with all the details. The 42-kilometer route. Cutoffs. To ensure your safety and that of other road users, several cutoff points have been established. Unfortunately, if you have not reached a specific cutoff point in the time, you will have to get onto one of the sweep buses provided, which will take you and your bike back to the 109-kilometer finish area in Greenpoint. The sweep drop-off point will be at the A-track parking area opposite the McDonald's. There are 3 cut-off points on the 42-kilometer route. The first one is at the end of the M3. That's Refreshment Station 2. Cut-off there is 12 o'clock. The second cut-off point is at Newlands, which is Refreshment Station 4. That's the entrance to the fire base at Newlands Forest. Cut-off at this point will be at 1 p.m. Cut-off at the finish will be in Newmarket Street in the centre of town at 2 o'clock. Please take note of areas of caution along the 42-kilometer route. Hospital Bend outbound is a steep and fast descent with a sharp right turn at the bottom. Be cautious of cones and cat eyes. Paradise Motors, just after you cross Newlands Avenue, is a fast descent in the shade, so please be careful. Bottom of Edinburgh Drive on the return leg. This is a steep downhill with a sharp right turn at the bottom. There are 4 refreshment stations on the 42-kilometer route. All refreshment stations stock Coke, Powerade, and water along with medical and mechanical support. Please remember to bring your reusable water bottle as cups will not be provided and will definitely not be available at our water stations. Visit the app for precise locations of these refreshment stations en route. Please ensure that you carry enough bike spares on you and be as self-sufficient as possible. There will be mechanics on motorbikes carrying limited spares on the route. Make sure you keep an eye out for cat eyes and potholes along the road. There will be no racing groups or prizes awarded to the 42-kilometer event. The age category winners will receive official recognition from the event organizers. The finish of the 42-kilometer, as with last year, will be in Riebeck Street. You come off the freeway, past the Grand Parade, straight onto Strand Street. You'll then take a right turn into Adley Street and a left into Riebeck Street, where you will reach the finish line situated between Loop and Long Street. The finish line is exactly 1.8 km from the 109-kilometer finish at the Greenpoint precinct. There will be a marshaled route for those wanting to ride through to the Cape Town Cycle Tour finish precinct and meet up with loved ones participating in the wrong route. From the finish line on Riebeck Street, cyclists will continue on Riebeck, contraflow, and cross over Bakencroft in neutral into Somerset Road, where a lane will be coned for all cyclists on their way to Ebenezer Street. Cyclists will then move onto the Fan Walk and continue towards P12 through the underpass and onto the forecourt. Please obey all the marshals and rules of the road. We encourage riders to take a short ride to join up with loved ones at the 109-kilometer finish hospitality area. Events of this nature don't simply happen. It is the coming together of a variety of sponsors, partners, marshals, volunteers, city services, and provincial expertise that allows us to take to the roads for this incredibly special day. Our thanks go out to all of these parties for giving us, the cyclists, the opportunity to experience the most fun one can have on 2 wheels on the greatest peninsula in the world.